Hello. Hi. This is Mrs.Z, and it is Grade 5, Mission 5, Lesson 14, and it's problem set. Okay. Jorge decided to paint a wall with two windows. These are the two windows. Both windows are 3.5 feet by 4.5 feet rectangles. Find the area of the paint needs to cover. Find the area the paint needs to cover. That's the question. Area of the paint needs to cover. Of course, we want to use the paint for a window. So we need this is the whole wall. So if we take out area of the window, we could get the area of what paint needs to be. So this is called outside method. So you can find what total area of the whole wall is. Then you're going to find what area of the square these rectangles are or windows, and then total you will take away the areas from the total, and we will find the answer. Okay, let's start. So the total area of the wall is going to be, the length is 12 and 7/8, and the width is 8 feet. So I'm going to use this area here. I'll just like say wall W area equals 12 7/8 times 8. Okay, of course, this is feet by feet, so the answer is in the square feet. Okay, we will use partial product, so we can say 8 times 12 and 8 times 7/8. So let's do 8 times 12 first. If you do calculation here, 12 times 8, so that is 2 times 8 is 16. 16, I remember 110. And 1 times 8 is 8, plus 1 is 9. So the 8 times 9, 12, or 12 times 8 is 96. So area equals 96 plus, now we need to do the whole with the part. 7/8 times 8, or 8 times 7/8. So same thing, 7/8 times 8. I will make 8 as the fraction. And then when I have this, I could simplify this by dividing both by 8, 8 by 8. So this will reduce to 1. This will also simplify to 1. So 7 times 1 is 7, and 1 times 1 is 1. So practically you got 7 feet. So 8 times 7/8 is 7 feet, square feet. So altogether is 6 and 7 is 13. So it's a 103. If you 6 and 7 is 13, and then 13 plus 90 is 103. And what they are? Square feet. So now we know if there are no windows, the square area would be, the whole rectangle or window would be 103 square feet. Okay. Now, let's calculate what the windows area are. So they say that each window is 3.5 by 4.5. So the window is 4.5 times 3.5. So let's see, area of, this was a wall, so I don't want to do that. I will do the area of like just a little gray part equals 4.5 times 3.5. Okay. Also they're square feet. And so let's use the same strategy using distributive property. So 4 times 3, I'm going to use different colors so you can see. I need to do 4 times 3, and I need to do 4 times 1/2. I also need to do 1/2 times 3 and 1/2 times 1/2. Okay, so, or if you use the area model, you can draw 4.5 and 3.5, and you will calculate that. Just in this is a little bit quicker. So that I'm gonna area equals 4 times 3 plus 4 times 1/2 plus 1/2 times 3 and plus 1/2 times 1/2. Okay, now I needed to calculate this. 4 times 3 is 12. Now, use the language when you are talking about halves because it will make sense. You can say 4 halves, or you can say what is a half of 4. Half of 4 is 2. And then it's also 1/2 times 3 times, or what is a half of 3? So half of 3 is 1.5. And then the last one is numerator time numerator, denominator time denominator, so 1/2. Or you can say what is a 1/2 of 1/2. If you have a half and you cut that in half, that you will get 1/4. And now you can do add them all together. The idea here, it's a half, and this is a 1/4. So I want a fourth, so I'm going to multiply by 2, and then I will have this to do, because half is also as 2/4. So together is 12 plus 2 is 14 plus 1 is 15. So equals 15, and then 2/4 plus 1/4 is 3/4. Oh, sorry, excuse me. Okay, square feet. So this is one window. So here's 15 and 3/4 square feet squared, and then also this is 15 and 3/4 square feet. So the total area is 103, and we needed to take away these two together. So when you add 15 plus 15, so okay, window 1 plus window 2 equals 15 and 3/4 plus 15 and 3/4. So that is equal to 30 and 6/4, which will make this is 4/4 plus 2/4. So 4/4 is a whole, and 2/4 is a half. So I can see that to be 6/4 is the same as, oops, you can see, sorry. Okay, so 6/4 is 4/4 plus 2/4. 4/4 is a whole, and 2/4, 2 is a half of 4. So that is a half. So finally, I got my answer. That is 31 and a half. So I needed to subtract 31 and a half from the 103, and I will have the area of this. So let's do it. Okay, where to find room? I'm thinking about 100 and let's just do the 103 minus 31 first. Okay, so 3 minus 1 is 2, and I cannot subtract 3 from 0, so I have to regroup the 100. So I'm going to regroup the 100 and not have 100 anymore, but I will have 10 tenths. So 10 minus 3 is 7. I got 72 wholes, but I needed to subtract also half, 1/2 of it. So if I take 72 wholes and I take a half of it, I will have 71 and a half, which would be the total painting area. 71 and a half. Okay, so minus, you can say minus half equals 71 and a half. So I'm going to find a room right here to write. Find the area the paint needs to cover. Okay, the paint needs to cover an area of 71 and a half square feet. Okay, so now I did use the idea how to solve this problem by using, sorry guys, lots of noise, but it is life, it happens. So this is a outside method, because outside you calculate all of this and then you take out these two parts. Okay, so that was number one. Number two, Joe uses square tiles, some of which he cuts in half to make the figure below. If each square tiles has a side length of 2.5 inches, what is the total area of the figure? Total area of the figure. So I'm going to enlarge a little bit so you can see. So this I can use, if this is that real square, he did put these little guys, and then he also cut some of them into the half. So if you cut it in half, these are, and then if you want to find the area of this triangle, you actually need to find the area of square and then divide into 2, and you will have a find area of the triangle. So that's one way. The other way is also that you can combine the halves to calculate how many holes would be. So if I go and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, that's 10 whole squares. But then this and this will make me 11th one, and then this one and this one will make my 12th, and then these two will make 13. And then only this one is going to still be the half. So it's going to stay half because I don't have another half to make a whole. So the total is 13 and a half of the papers that he has. Now, when we know what is the, we can find area of 1. Use this little, so if this is a square, they said it's two and a half, so it would be 2.5 times 2.5. So 2.5 by 2.5 will give me the area of this. I'm going to do it on a paper so you can see. If I create little square right here, okay, got that. Okay, so if that is 2.5, and this is 2.5, then I can say, okay, if this represents 2 and this is half, this is 2 and this is half, I can calculate what is 2.5 times 2.5. 2 times 2 is 4 feet square. 2 times half is 2 halves. 2 halves makes a whole feet square. And then again, this is 2 times half. So 2 times half is 2 halves. Or what is a half of 2? That is 1. And then this one is 1/2 times 1/2. What is a 1/2 of 1/2? It's 1/4 square feet. So now I know what 1 square paper is. It is area of the square paper is 4 plus 5, 1 plus 1 is 6 and 1/4. So 6 and 1/4 square inches. Sorry, it's not feet, it's inches. I messed up with the measurement, so didn't pay attention. So I'm gonna erase that. And then it's just thinking that these are inches. See, it's best if I did it put right away where they need to be. That's okay. It's okay. So it's a 6 and 1/4 of an inch square. So it's only one square, but we have 13.5 squares. So to find the total area of the total area of this figure, we need to say, oh, there's 13.5 squares. Then I will multiply that by how much is 1 square. So total area, T for total, equals, it's 13.5 times 6 and 1/4. Okay, and also is feet squared because inch squared. So I don't know why I'm talking always feet, because we did work with feet in a previous problem, and then I stuck with that unit. So now I'm going to use the distributive property A equals, I'm going to model for you 13 plus 1/2 times 6 plus 1/4. And I'm going to use, okay, 13 times 6. Okay, and then 13 times 1/4. And then I'm going to use 1/2 times 6 and 1/2 times 1/4. Okay, area equals 13 times 6 plus 13 times 1/4 plus 1/2 times 6 and plus try figure 1/2 times 1/4. Have to squeeze it somehow right here. All right, so area equals 6 times 10 is 60 plus 3 times 6 is 18, so 13 times 6 is 78 plus 13. Now, if you think about what is 1/4 of 13, that you can, or you can say 13 divided by 4. So if I go on the side and just divide 13 by 4, how many 4s are in 13? They are 3. 3 times 4 is 12. I have one left over, but what is one remainder is 1 out of 4 because the group is 4. So it would be 3 and 1/4 left. So that's one of the strategy how you can do 13 fourths. Also, you can think of if you have 13 of these fractions, you can add them. 4 of them will make whole, and another 4, another whole, another 4. So you will have 3 wholes and 1/4 will still be there. So 3 wholes and 1/4 plus. Now this is easy because you just need to say what is 1/2 of 6. So 1/2 of 6 is 3, and the last is 1/2 times 1/4 is 1/8. So now these are 4ths and these are 8s. So 8s are this size and 4ths are this side. So I have to change the 4ths into 8s. So if I am going to do that, I can just divide into 2, and I will know that 1/4 and 1/8 is actually 3/8, because 1/4 is 2, can be made into 2/8. So times 2 times 2. So now I do have total area of 78 plus 3 is 81, and then 3 is 84, 84, and then 2 8s plus 1 8 is 3 8s. And what there are is square inches. Okay, square inches. So that should be the answer if I did not make any mistake. All right. Let's see. I needed to write what is the total area of the figure. The total area of the figure is 84 and 3/8 square inches. So that is going to be okay. One did I? Nope, I did one. There you go. All right. So I forgot to move this just that you can see all. Okay. I'm going to do next. Okay. All-in-one Carpets is installing carpeting in 3 rooms. How many square feet of carpet are needed to carpet all 3 rooms? All 3 rooms. So room A, it's 25 1/4 by 15.5. Okay, room B is 19 by 18.5, and room C is 16 3/4 by, now we need to figure it out what this length is because they did not give us, so this is unknown. Well, we know that here is the 2 feet, here is the 2 1/4, and then we know that this line is parallel to this. So from this point right here, I'm going to make it bigger so you can see. Okay, from this point right here to here, if I slide my ruler down, okay, hold on, it's going to be exactly as this point right here to this point. And so we know then that from here to here is 25 1/4. But then I only need this part from here to here. So I need to take this 2 off feet and also 2 1/4. So I need to cut this and this in order to find what this length is. So 25 minus 2 is 23, and minus 2 is 21, and 1/4 minus 1/4 is 21. So this is 121 feet. Okay, so if you cannot see that, I can show you. So this is 2 feet plus this is 2 1/4. So altogether is 4 1/4 feet. But then from here to here is 25 1/4. So I needed to subtract this to find what this length here, that is this from here to here. 25 minus 4 1/4 equals 21 feet. Okay, so whoops, make it smaller so you can see. All right. So now I know all dimension. All I need now to say what is area of A, what is area of B, and also add all that together. So area of A equals 25 1/4 times 15 1/2 feet squared. So feet squared, so let's use 25 times 15 plus 25 times half plus 1/4 times 15 and plus 1/4 times 1/2. Okay, so this is that area room A. Let's figure it out what it is. So 25 times 15, you can think of mentally 25 times 10 is, I'm going to do on the side, let me have it smaller, let me have that right here. So 25 times 10 is 250, and 25 5 25s. So you know that 4 25s is 100, so 5 25s needs to be 125. So that is 375. So I go back and write 375 plus. Now, this is a half of 25. So that also can be done mentally. If you think what is a half of 20, that's 10. And then what is a half of 5? That is a 2.5, 2.5. So together is 12.5. So half of 25 is 12.5 or 12.5 if I change into decimals. I all of a sudden changed in decimals, sorry. What is 1/4? I could change that. This is also 12 and like this fraction 1/2, sorry. If I think what is a 1/4 of 15, that's more I can think of if it's 1/4 of 16 would be easy, but 1/4 of 15 would not be as easy. So if I say if I have 15/4, I can say that I can make 3 wholes. 3 times 4 is 12. So 12/4 will make me 3 wholes, and I will have a 3/4 left. If I change this into the decimal, because I already started right here, I can think about 3/4 to be 3.75 because 3/4, 1/4 is a 0.25, 2.50, and 3/4 are 75. But I won't do that. I will just stick with the fractions, and I will change this 12 into. Okay. 12.5 plus this is 3 3/4 plus 1. I did that correct. Now 1/4 times 1/2 is 1/8. Okay. I'm going to change now 1/2 and 1/4 into 8. So I can change these two first. If I think here this is 1/2 and this is 1/2 and 1/4, I could make this, but it's okay. Let's change everything into 8 times 4 times 2. So I got 375. Let's do that where I can find room to work. That's the point. 375 plus 12 is 387 plus 3 is 390. So that is 390. And then I have here 4 8 plus 6 8 plus 1 8. That equals 11 8. And 11 8 is 1 whole and 3 8. 8 8 will make a whole, and 3 out of 11 will still be there. So that makes 390, and plus 1 and 3/8. Total is 391 and 3/8 feet squared feet. And that is number A, room A. Room A. Okay, let's do room B. Okay, so area of B equals 18.5 times 19. So 18.5 times 19 square feet. So let's see, I need 18 times 19 and half of 19, half of 19. So let's calculate that. I'm going to look for the more room, so I'm going to just take the extra paper. Okay, so it's lots of work here. Let's do here 18 times 19. I'll do standard algorithm. 8 times 9 is 72. I remember 7. 1 times 9 is 9, plus 7 is 16. I add a 0. I'm done with ones. 1 times 8 is 8. 1 times 1 is 1. That is 8 plus 6 is 14. So that is 342. So 342 plus, what is a half of 19? If you think this to be 18, so that is half of 18 is 9. And then you have a half of 1 is half. So that is half of 19 is 9.5, because 9 plus 9 is 18, and half plus half is whole, so that makes 19. Okay, so now 342 plus 9 is 350, is it 51 and a half. Okay, and it is square feet. Okay, that's B. Now room C, we had a value for 16 and 3/4, and then we found 21. So area of C is 16 and 3/4 times 21. Okay, so let's do 16 times 21. 1 times 6 is 6. 1 times 1 is 1. Put 0. 2 times 6 is 12. I remember 1. 2 times 1 is 2. Plus 1 is 3. Altogether is 336. So 336. And then what is it? 3/4 of 21? Or what is 3 times 21 divided by 4? You can think that way. I really need extra paper, so I'm just gonna add this one here, or I'm gonna use the same. I like to have everything on the one paper, so let me do this here. Okay, so if I need to do 3/4 times 21, so that means 3 times 21 divided by 4. Okay, 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6, so that's 63 divided by 4. Okay, so 63. If my group is 4, I have only 6. I can make one group. 1 times 4 is 4. If I bring down the ones, 4 times 5 is 20. So I have 3 left over, which is out of 4. So that is 3/4. So the answer is 15 and 3/4. Okay. So when I go back down, so I needed to add to 336 15 3/4. So if I do that, 6 and 5 is 11. So that is 5, 351 3/4. 3/4 square feet. That is C. Oh gosh, that's a really lot. So now I needed to figure it out which one was. So this was A. This was B. And then this one is also feet squared feet. Keep the is. Now I need to figure it out all three together because all three rooms, the area of all three rooms. Okay, let's do it. I'm gonna add the holes first, and then I'm gonna add the parts. Good? Okay, I'm going to use my little tiny paper right here on the top. So I'm going to say, okay, that is 391 plus 351 plus 351. That is 3, 9, remember 1. Okay, 3 times 3 is 9. So that is a 1093 in the holes. And then I need to add 3/8 plus 1/2 plus 3/4. Okay, I'm gonna change all this into the 8 times 4 times 4 times 2 times 2. So my fraction will be 8. So it will be 3/8 plus 4/8 plus 6/8. Altogether is 13/8. 13/8. So 8/8 will make a whole. So 5/8 will be extra. So on this, I need to add one more and 3 and 5/8. And that is going to be my final answer for the for this area. So all the way down, this is ridiculous. Okay, total area is 1094 5/8 square square feet. Square feet. Done. Done. All right. So that is the very weird, and I don't like when I don't have enough room to work. So let's make a smaller, lots of mess. Okay, that was the problem 1. And then this was the problem 2. And this was the problem 3. And I had to do calculation on the top of the paper. So it was Mrs.Z, and it was a problem set, lesson 14, and it's just this first part. There should be another paper that I need to do, and that looks like this. All right, that would be a 4 and 5. Let me just look around if I can find that paper. All right, I think I lost it. No, I didn't. It's right here. I got it. So this was number 1, 2, 3, and now that's how that looks like. 1, 2, 3. And then now we do 4 and 5. Let's go. Okay. What they want us to do in a 4? Guys, this will be very long one. But it's okay. It's okay. If the lawn, Mr. Johnson needs to buy a sod for his front lawn. Sod, I think. Okay. If lawn measured 36 and 2/3 of feet by 45 and 6 of feet, how many square feet of sod will he need? So if that is a rectangular area, so area is lawn is 36 2/3 by 45 and 1/6. Okay, feet squared. Okay, feet by feet. Feet times feet is feet squared. Okay, now I'm going to use distributive property. I'm going to do 36 times 45 and 36 times 1/4. Okay, 36 times 45 plus 36 times 1/6. Okay, plus. Now I'm going to do, let's see, this one here. 1 2/3 of 45 and 2/3 times 1/6. 1/6 of 2/3. All right, so 2/3 times 45 and plus 2/3 times 1/6. Okay, guys, that is, now it's all about calculation. So I'm going to do area equals 36 times 45. You can use standard algorithm. So let's do 36 times 45. Okay, I'm going to, oops, you can see. Okay, I like to make these lines because it helps me to be nice and clean. 6 times 5 is 30. 0, instead of writing 3 here, I'm going to add there. All right? So 3 plus 3. Now, 3 times 5 is 15 plus 3 is 18. I'm done with ones, so put the 0 to hold the place. 4 times 6 or 6 times 4 is 24. 4, I remember 2 plus 2. 3 times 4 is 12 plus 2 is 14. I add those, and that is what is plus. So 8 and 4 is 12. Remember 1. 4 and 2 is 6. So it's 1,620. So 36 times 45 is 1,620 plus. Now, this should be easy mentally because 36 and 6 are multiple of each other. So 6 times 6 is 36. So if I divide 36 into 6 pieces, well, 1/6 of 36 is 6, because one part of a 6. If you still, okay, excuse me. This is Mrs. Yaya. Hello? Yes, that's me. I can hear you now. Uh, Now I can, yes. A second ago, I couldn't. Hey, not, not to worry, dear. I only cannot do any other days but that week of 24 or 23rd. So if you can keep the same, then it will be fine. Okay, guys, my doctor called, so I have to postpone this. So I also can think what is a two-thirds of 45. If I show you, if this is three pieces, and oh, sorry, and makes 15 plus 15 plus 15, that all together is 45. Yes, you're welcome. Bye. Okay, guys. Huh? Sorry. That's what happens. I didn't stop because it's not gonna help me. I want to finish this problem set. So like I try. So now, what is two-thirds of 45? If I cut 45 into three pieces, two-thirds would be this. So that's what is two-thirds of 25 or 45. That is a 30. Okay, two-thirds of 45 equals 30. Okay, it's the same thing as I did for this one. I was doing the six parts. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 is 36. So what is 1/6 of the 36 is 6. So 1/6 of 36 is 6. Two-thirds of 45 is 30. Okay, plus 1, 2 times 1 is 2, 3 times 6 is 18. So 2/18, but also 2/18, you could see this as dividing by 2, so that could be a 1/9 as well. Okay, so this is 1/9. So now put all this together, 160, 1620, 56, and 1/9. 1620 and 30 is 50, and then 6, and then 1/9. So that is feet squared, square feet. And that is the what is the area of his lawn for the sod. If sod is only sold in a whole square feet, how much will Mr. Jones have to pay? Now that's a problem B. The A, we solve it. This is how much square feet of lawn he has. And now they say in the table that they sold 1,000 square feet for 0.27 cent. They sell 500 square feet for 0.22. They have different, how much do you buy, that the price is different. So additional is 0.19 or 19 cents. So when we do that, we know then this was 1,656. So we can think about first 1,000 and then 500 and then what is left 156. So these three will be different prices for each. So 1,000 will cost him times 0.27. This one will be 0.22, and then this one will be 0.19. So when we know that this is thinking about 27 pennies, hundreds times thousand, your answer would be 27,000. But because they are hundreds, we needed to have hundreds. So the 1,000 of the square feet will cost him $270. If you look this one, what is 22 times 500? So you can think about what is a 22 times 5. 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 5 is 10. Plus 1 is 11. So 110, 110 hundreds. Okay, I'll need one more. So because these are hundreds, so that is, that decimal is going to be right here. So $110 he will pay for 500 square feet. And then we need to multiply 156 by 0 or 19 cents. So thinking about this is 156 times 19 hundreds. So 6 times 9 is 54. 4, I remember 5. 9 times 5 is 45, plus 5 is 50. Remember 5. 1 times 9 is 9, plus 5 is 14. I'm done with ones. 1 times 6 is 6. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 1 is 1. Add them up. So that is, okay, I would like to put 4 and 6 and 9 and 2. So the here is 2, 9, 6, 4, but they are hundreds because I did not, so those are hundreds. So that is, I need to show hundreds in my answer. So the last part will cost him $29.69. So altogether now we need to add, and that will be the price. How much will he pay? So this was, I'm going to add these two first because 270 and 110 will make 380 plus 2964. I can add a 0 here, so, and then I can add the decimal as well, and a 0 for the So it can help me to add. 0 plus 4 is 4. 0 plus 6 is 6. Decimal goes in a line when you add. And 9, 0, remember 1. So it's $409.64. So, so how much will Mr. John have to pay? Mr. Johnson will pay $409.64 for sod. Okay. That was number 4. And guys, I'm sorry for interruption. My doctor called and I had to reschedule appointment, and I did not want to stop my video. So things happened. All right. Next. Jennifer class decided to make a quilt. Each of 24 students will make a quilt square 8 inches on each side. When they sew the quilt together, every edge of each quilt square will lose 3/4 of an inch. Draw one way the square. Draw one way the squares could be arranged to make a rectangular quilt. Then find the perimeter of your arrangement. Find perimeter of your arrangement. So when you think about this, it's 24 students, and they will each of them will bring one square like this, one square, and it will be 8 inches by 8 inches. Okay, so and they will put it, so any combination to make 24, and multiplication could be the solution for making the quilt. So to be precise, I'm going to use 3 by 8. So let's see if I make, let me see if this will work. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna try here. It's more wider. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. 3 by 8. Okay, let's okay, here you go. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, here you go. So it could be 4 times 6, it could be 3 times 8, it could be 2 times 12 if you want a long quilt. But that's how it's going to be. Okay, so my quilt will look like this. Okay. Okay, here you go. So it's 3 by 8 make 24. Each square represents one student. So now, when you think about if they bring one square each, like I'm going to create a bigger one, so I'm going to show you. Hold on. So if I make this square, when they sew it, it will lose 3/4 off. So, like if this is 8 by 8, when they sew those, they need some space. So they will lose about this much, 3/4 of it. So instead of being the whole, it's going to be square is going to be smaller than 8 inches. So this part right here is 3/4 inch less, and then this is also here 3/4, and then here 3/4 less. So when you think about that, you will lose here 3/4, and then here and here, and then also here and here, 3/4 of inch will be lost. So that means on each side you're gonna lose twice 3/4 plus 3/4. That makes 6/4. That makes 1.5 inch will be lost. So instead of being 8 inches, it would be now inside 8 minus 1.5. 8 minus 1.5 inch. So 8 minus 1 is 7. 7 minus half is 6.5 inch. So the inside would be 6.5. So now these squares will be 6.5. So area of this inside the square would be 6.5 times 6.5, because it's a square, so it will be 6.5. Each will bring 64 square inches. 64, because 8 times 8 is 64 square inches. But when they take off 3/4 of an inch on each side, the square are going to be the smaller, because you will use the parts that will be sold. This will be lost. Okay, so now the area of this, it will be area equals 6.5 times 6.5, and then we can use the partial product or distributive property. 6 times 6 is 36, plus 6 times half. Half of 6 is 3. And then also, what is 1/2 times 6, or half of 6, again, is 3. And then 1/2 times 1/2 is 1/4. So now that is 60, 36, 39, 42, 42, and 1/4 square inches. Square inches is the area. But they also, for 8, they ask us what is the perimeter. Find the perimeter of arrangement. So perimeter is all around. So starting this point, all around is perimeter. Okay. So the area was, I was adding this because so that's 1 square is 42 and 1/4 is each square, but I need 24 times 42 and 1/4. It would be that area of each square. So if I count area of this whole figure, it's going to be 24 times 42 and 1/4. But if I look for perimeter, perimeter is needed to go and add all the length around, and length is 6 and 1/2. So 6.5, 6.5 plus. So I need to figure it out. What is that? The this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 because I choose 3 by 8. So this will be 8. So 8 times 2 times 8 times 6.5 plus 2 times, because you have a 3 and 3 and you have 8 and 8, but now these lengths are 6.5, so it's 6.5, 6.5, 6.5, 3 times, but then also is a 2 times 3 times 6.5. I hope that makes sense. So once, twice, 3 times, 1, 2, 3, but each line is 6.5. So perimeter is, let's just do this first parenthesis. So 8 times 6 is 48. Plus half of 8 is 4. Okay, now let's do this one 2 times. There is invisible multiplication. I don't need to put multiplication sign here. This is invisible multiplication sign in there. We usually don't put it. It's just that you need to know that. 3 times 6 is 18. And then what is a half of 3 is 1.5. Okay, so now next is 2 times. This is 52. So 2 times 52, if this is 52, so 2 times 52 is 104 plus, now 2 times this is 19, and 2 times 19 is 9, and 9 is 18. I'm going to do it here. 18. 2 times 9 is 18. 2 times 10 is 20. So together is 38. Plus, now 2 times half is 1. So this should be 39. So 39. And all together 104 and 39 is going to be 143, equals 143 inches, because this is 6.5 inch. When you are doing perimeter, you are calculating, when you are doing perimeter, you're calculating the lengths. So their length is the inch size, like this. And then when you are doing area, you're calculating these squares. So the answer is squared. So you're calculating the squares. So this, now we're not done yet. This is just perimeter of this figure. Okay, and then so far I found what is one quilt square area on. So now I need to do 42 and times 24 for each student. So total area of the quilt is 42 and 1/4 times 24. So 42 times 24, and what is 1/4 of 24? So if I'm going to do that, right, ready? 42, I'm going to just use it, 42 times 24. 2 times 4 is 8, 4 times 4 is 16, but 0, 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 4 is 8, together is 8, 0, it's 1008, 1008 plus, what is a 1/4 of 24? So 24 divided by 4. Remember how I did this before there? If you have 4 pieces, so you have 24. 6 plus 6 is 12, plus 6 is 18, plus 6 24. So what is only 1/4 of 24 is 6. So the finally is the 1014 square feet. Square inches, sorry, square inches. So the area of that is 114 square inches. Okay, guys, so that would be what is problem. Oh my goodness, it's a lot of work. All right. So the problem set, lesson 14. And it was Mrs. Z. I hope, I am sorry for stopping my presentation, and it's about, and I don't know how long it was. Okay, stay safe. I love you. Bye.